All right, and we're back. Welcome to the Kohler Show, episode 10, which is a milestone. We are 10 episodes in, 10 times this many episodes, and we'll be at 100 if you're good at math. So, yeah, that's a big deal. Remember, like, subscribe, follow, set reminders. The show's not good yet, technically. I'm not the best at this still, but we are improving, and that's what matters. Now, I've been working in the studio, I guess you could say, and we kind of have more of a direction for this now. So my plan is to have 5 episodes out a week. That would be Monday through Friday. With kind of a schedule of Monday doing I don't want to say motivational because that's kind of cheesy, and I wouldn't say it's motivational per se, but like kind of like a self-help, like positive, get your week going. Maybe like do some, storytelling Monday. Tuesday we're gonna do a review of it's the Tuesday and Friday will be sports episodes, so it'll be Tuesday we're going to review everything that happened that weekend and, all my picks and, see what happened, where, college football, pro football is going, college basketball, any big stories in sports news. Wednesday, I would like to do a Q&A eventually, but for now we're just going to go on Reddit dating advice, and I'm just going to give random people on Reddit dating advice, and we'll see how that goes, being that I've never been in a serious relationship. And then Thursday, we will kind of do like a Saturday Night Live weekend update type thing. Obviously, less structure and less. I'm not going to write fucking 50 jokes for it, but we'll just go over things in the news and things in pop culture. I'll give you my 2 cents on it, and then Friday, I'll give you my picks and preview the games for the weekend, and then anything that happened during the week in sports, I will go over that. So yeah, that's where the show is headed right now, which is like kind of cool that we have something, kind of going. I need to up my blog output as well on the website, thekohlershow.com, if you want to check out anything over there. Right now it's just kind of picks, and then every couple days I throw on there like a long form thing on quiet quitting in corporate America or college football playoff expansion, why we need it, stuff like that. I'll try and get that out on Reddit and Twitter more. I'd like to make a return to Twitter as well. Kind of an ongoing joke that I retire and then unretire from Twitter every like 2-3 years, because I really don't understand how the app works. I don't understand how you become Twitter famous or how, like, why. Like, it's like news that you get from any other source. It's like, to me, Twitter's just the Facebook it's just comment. It's just a comment section. It's like, you can get that anywhere else. But yeah, I'm doing my best. Gonna pick it up on TikTok, get some of these out on TikTok. Obviously we're already on YouTube and whatnot, and I don't have the bandwidth, time, or capacity to do anything more on YouTube than right now, but in the future we will get there. So today is Wednesday, November 9th, the day after the 2022 midterm elections. And boy, how much I love politics. I don't know did you guys watch it? Did you watch the Fox News all night, and did your guy win or did your guy lose? Because if your guy won, then good for you. Politics right now is kind of comical because it's two sides that are rooting for their guy like it's a sports team, when politics isn't really sports. Like sports, there's a winner, there's a loser. You go, you play the game. Maybe there's a little, we don't know with the refs, But at the end of the day, one side wins, one side loses. You hit the bar, you have a good time. Politics is not like that. It's not like that. There's because whoever wins or loses, there's repercussions for everybody, no matter what. And right now it's just like two extremes with nobody willing to meet in the middle or like kind of like get off of any viewpoint that is, what their party thinks. So it's like it's not what you think, it's what your side of the party thinks. So I don't know how people go out. I've said in previous episodes that like we should all just not vote. Like if everybody just doesn't vote and they show up and the only votes they have are like them for each other, or like, they only voted for themselves and they get, one vote each, both candidates. I feel like that would be a much more effective way to do this, because right now it's just kind of bullshit. So like right now, here, let's check right now what it's at. Right now, the Senate's at, there's still 4 seats still to be called in Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, and Alaska. It's 48-48. So it looks like Georgia's going to do a runoff election. I have no idea what even that is. I'm sure I could Google it, but I'm not going to. It looks like the Democrats are leading in Arizona, kind of, and the Republicans are leading in Nevada and Alaska. So we could be at a split there. The House is at 206 seats for the Republicans and 177 for the Democrats. Again, if you really believe in this stuff, I hope your team won. But yeah, I just don't. It's annoying. I don't see why, like, what you'd want to put your name down for. Like, I didn't vote because I don't. Whatever you guys want to do, that's what I'm cool with. We'll do that because both sides have glaring flaws, glaring holes in their game. Also, we're like electing these 80-year-old men that like are barely sentient. Like the guy in Pennsylvania, like literally had a stroke. So we have like a stroke victim, and he won. Like a stroke victim won one of these elections, and not like a guy that like had a stroke, like a one-off stroke when he was like in his fifth. Like he's like old, and he had it like a month ago. Like like he can barely talk, and yeah, it's just. Like, can we not be picking between the stroke guy and the guy that Trump picked? Like that's the thing. It's like these guys, we're heading towards another election in 2024 where it's going to be 80-year-old Trump and 80-plus-year-old Joe Biden. Like Trump's clearly not bringing people together, and I mean, honestly, I would rather have him president right now because we're kind of like on our way to like nuclear war, which is kind of sucky. But also, like, I get why he's not president. And, like, obviously I didn't vote. I've never voted because I don't know why I would put my name down for that. You never know what the dude's going to say or do. So I don't want to put my name down for that. And then Joe Biden is just, like, barely, like, sentient. Like, we have, like, literally, like, a zombie, running things right now. So I think if you guys want to go out and, like, pick good, like, solid, maybe like in their 60s, 50s would be great because I feel like that's when you're still you have good life experience and you're mentally all there. That'd be awesome. That'd be so sweet. Like maybe I would if there was a good guy, but also I don't want him to just say things because that's where his party alignment is, and I'd rather just have a guy that is just doing the right thing, because yeah, that's the main thing I want, is just to pick the guy that does the right thing. And I feel like that shouldn't be a bad take. Because there's a lot of people out there that are like, I'm going out to vote for the less of two evils. I was like, I'm going to vote for no evils. I'm just not going to vote. Like, I'm just going to let you guys pick what evil you want, and I will adjust my life accordingly. There's nobody else I'm kind of responsible for, so good luck. But yeah, this whole thing, 2022 election was supposed to be like this red wave, and Joe Rogan was talking about on his show like it's gonna be like the doors opening up and the shining and the blood will flow and the rivers will be red. He didn't say it like that, but it was like that. So yeah, it was supposed to be this red wave. It looks like the Republicans. I don't know. I'm not an expert on this. I'm just looking at the numbers in front of me. 206 is more than 177. It looks like right now they're in the lead to win the House, and it looks like probably a split in the Senate. So, and the split in the Senate goes to the Speaker of the House, I believe. That's a good politic knowledge right there for somebody who doesn't give a shit. So yeah, it kind of is what it is. And if you really think your one vote is doing something, that's great. And I'm happy for you. And, but yeah, with this whole red wave thing, my personal logical advice for the Republican Party would be like, like maybe chill a little bit. Like maybe like don't. So like Donald Trump, a lot of these states that were close that they won, that the Democrats won where the Republicans were supposed to, because we'll get to the Democrats a little bit. Republicans like maybe like don't put it out people that are going to say crazy shit like the election was like a lie and like false and like, because then that gives, I mean, I don't care what you really think, because it's not like we can go back and redo it, and it's not like they're going to change it. So I think that's more of like a move on type thing. And also like Democrats do it too. It's another reason why I don't vote, is because it's like no matter who you pick and no matter who wins, the other side's going to be like, oh, you cheated. And they're going to be like, no, we did not cheat. And then the whole thing is just turned into this clown show, because neither one can just be like, yeah, we fucking lost. It sucks. And maybe we should look at ourselves and see what we did, and maybe we can fix something about that. But yeah, it's one of those things where the Republicans, in my opinion, they need to, maybe chill on like things like abortion. Like maybe be like, hey, yeah, like maybe like the rape and incest thing is kind of fucked up and you can still get abortion. And maybe you can even get it till like, I heard 15 weeks is a thing. And that, to me, that sounds pretty like fair. Like maybe like, I don't know how the whole booking, I've never had one because I'm, a dude. And I've never taken somebody to have one. And it's like, maybe, I don't know, maybe if you book your appointment before the 15-week mark, then you're good. But like, also like, you shouldn't be having an abortion like the day before the baby's due, right? Like that to me is logical. So like maybe we could meet in the middle there. Maybe that would be a good place to meet in the middle on something like that. And it's things like that. And Republicans need to like stop with religion. Like you can't just, I get that the country was based off of standards of religion or religious based Christianity, Western values, but maybe like don't make everything about God, because like not everybody believes in God, and less people are believing in God like every year. So maybe we should be like, not base our I'm not saying us, like I'm part of this. I'm saying let's not base arguments off of religion and maybe logic and statistics. Let's do that, which I'm not saying they don't. I know politics are so hard to talk about because everything I say, I need to cover my ass with the next thing I say, because the last thing I said might get me in trouble for the next thing. And so, so the Republicans need to chill a little bit. You need to pick better candidates. Like DeSantis in Florida, that seems pretty good. Get more guys like that. And then, the other guys, like the guy that lost to the stroke victim in Pennsylvania, maybe you get less of those guys who like, are saying crazy shit. Like, I don't think Whitmer should have won in Michigan, but she did. And I think that's because, you have the Republican lady, Tudor Dixon, who's one of these, I believe she's one of these Trump endorsed gals, who's saying like, yeah, no, like no abortion ever, like even if it's part dog, and you're like, okay, maybe chill just a little bit. And she didn't say that's not a direct quote. That's me making a funny. So let's just chill there now. And maybe, okay, let's go to the Democrats because this is good for them. Now, Democrats need to understand that, like, the economy does matter. Like, right? We do care. We do care if it's $80 for like a red onion. We do care when it's like, like $300 to fill up your tank of gas. And, maybe you aren't doing things the best way. Maybe instead of pretending like you're doing things the best way and like inflation's good, that maybe you're wrong. And, a lot of us, I'm going to say most of us, don't want any kind of communist thing going. So maybe chill with that. Maybe chill with the kids thing. Maybe that's a little too extreme. Maybe we should say like let them decide when they're 18. I know that's crazy to say, like don't trans the kids until they're 18 when they choose. And you can't even get a tattoo until you're 18 unless your parent signs off on it. So like maybe you should just not do that. But yeah, like they need to tell the way left guys, be like, you guys don't run this thing anymore. We like, this is a more of a democracy, shall we say, here on the left, and we're gonna do things a little different here. And I think that would have a better turnout for you guys. So maybe both sides just need to chill out a little bit, because politics is a little much for me right now, and there's no winning. And like I don't even like talking about it, because it's just, no matter what I say, you're just going to wait to say your thing that you were going to say to me before. And whatever I said doesn't even really fucking matter, because you're just waiting for your turn to say your thing. So maybe if more people like took the things I said and was like, does this make sense? Logically think about it. Boop, boop, boop. Is illegal immigration bad? Yes, it's illegal. It's literally in the name, and like every country has that. And so like if you don't believe me, try to get into Canada. Walk over to Canada, see if they don't check you for your passport. And maybe we should, not let people just come in willy-nilly unchecked, because like it's not cool. And like maybe that's true. And like maybe we should also make the immigration system a little faster and like easier to like go through, and not like everything be like so difficult that's ran by the government. Like maybe the DMV lines should go a little faster. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I feel like what I'm saying is pretty logical. Here would be my solution. My solution to the voting fiasco, the midterm elections, whatever. Now, the whole ballot thing kind of confuses me. I don't get why you can't just have a big database, and you go in and you show your identification, and they go, okay. And like, since you're registered in the database, you just go in and you like boop, 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 pick on like, maybe not a touch screen, because now you guys get with touch screens, but maybe like a Scantron. I don't know, fucking know. But yeah, you like go through, and then that's your one vote. I don't get why we can't do that. And also, I think you should have to take a test to vote. Like, I think you should have to take a test, and we have the people on the right and the people on the left, they each get their team, their fact check team, and nonpartisan group goes through, and they're like, okay, here are the big topics in the country. Here are like the normal topics in the country, like transing the kids, and then like murder statistics, crime statistics, whatever we want to say. And we get a pamphlet, or like a little book, where if you plan on voting, you can get this book and you study up and you say, okay, here are the statistics. Here are the facts on this. Here's what the professionals say on this. And then your candidate that gets elected in the primary, they go in, they put their official stance in there. So you read like, okay, this is what the Republican guy's stance is. This is what the Democrat guy's stance is. what's my stance on this after I read all these numbers and like facts and like where this issue started and came from. And then from there you're like, okay, I got all this knowledge now. And then you also have to watch all these debates. So they go through and they have like these hour-long debates, again, nonpartisan. I don't like how they do it on the news channels and it's like CNN and they like, you know, gang up on one side, or it's Fox and they gang up on one side. Like, just have it nonpartisan. They go in there, they debate, like actually debate with actual like things that they're saying, not just like yelling at each other, or not like the Trump way where he's just like, no, wrong. And you're like, okay, so you got those, and maybe they go on. I like the podcast idea with Joe Rogan, like a Joe Rogan style podcast where they go and they sit next to each other, and the host of whatever show, like the presidential one should be Joe Rogan. That'd be pretty sick. And they just go and they talk about the issues, and they hash it out. And you know, the moderator or whatever is like, you know, when it gets a little heated, he's like, oh, let's calm down a little bit. And you go through and you actually get answers on things, and you actually get like, we're gonna do this. We're going to do this to fix this. Because usually when they get in there, they don't do anything anyways. So who gives a fuck? And yeah, that's, and then so at the end of all that, you know, like a month before the elections, you go and you take your test and you can take this test as many times as you want or need to. And, yeah, you take this test and you have to answer all the questions from the pamphlet and from, you know, maybe not from the debates, but you know, like you have to know like a general gist on what's being talked about here. And then you get your name activated in the database, and then you're good to go to vote. I know that's very silly to most people, and like everybody should get to say, well, let's be real. Like a lot of people are just dumb as fuck. And a lot of people just are like, don't even look at the other side, and they just say, well, my parents were this, so I'm voting this way, or my friends are this, so I'm voting that way. And it's just not good for anybody. You know, it's just not a good way of doing things. It's not really a good system. You only get two choices. Like it should be like 5 candidates, and like, you know, get rid of the Democrat and Republican thing, and you just have like 5 guys not backed by anybody else. And then when you get into office, you can't make any more money than your salary. Like you can't make any more money, because that's the biggest thing is you don't pick the topic or the issues based off of what you think's right. You base off of who's paying you more, and that's fucked up. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on politics. That's my 2 cents on the election. I'm so happy for you if you guy won. I'm so sorry if your guy lost. Either way, that's the guy I voted for. So I'm with you. Okay. Moving on. Everything's going to be all right, people. Now, Love is Blind. Just almost the same amount of importance. Love is Blind, the season 3 finale came on this morning. I got up early. I watched it before I went to the gym, because I know where my priorities need to be. It's not with voting. It's with who said I do and who said I don't. So last week, I kind of went through SK and Raven. They, you know, SK said no. She said yes. Didn't work out, you know. Went through all that. And where we were left was with Nancy and Bertice. Corny Bertice, who's... I'm not corny Bertice. And they get up there. That's kind of where it starts off. And as I predicted it last week, he says no. And I don't know if like it kind of seems like the family members are like actors, because I could never imagine anybody like the speech Nancy's mom gives to Nancy's brother is just like, it's like they wrote it for reality TV. It was so over the top for the moment, and like so just like you're like, oh my god, dude, like they went on a marry a guy in a month show, and you're not surprised when he said like no. I don't know. So yeah, they don't work out. Um, like I said, I don't know if I said it, I might have changed it in my group text and not on the show, but Zaneb says no to Cole in kind of like this Deepti moment where last year Deepti was like, I'm choosing me. And it was like this girl power moment, which whatever. And she goes on, um, she gives him like a little speech, like, I hope you're happy in the future. So she says no. That one was kind of easy to predict. Like Cole said some off the wall shit. I don't blame her. And then Alexa and Brennan. That was the one I was right on that one. I actually love that couple. That's a great couple. I'm happy they made it. Um, you know, not much really more to say on that one. That was the um, least surprising thing out of all of them. Like, of course, they were going to say yes. There was really no doubt. They were the first ones to be engaged, and they say yes. And in the reunion show, they look very strong. So, congrats to them. And then the one I was wrong on, and it might have been a little biased because I thought Colleen was hot, and I'm like, maybe like hit me up, Colleen, because this one's clearly not going to work out. But yeah, Colleen and Matt both say yes. And that was surprising to me just because like Matt's such a psycho and clearly has like PTSD from his last marriage. But like I'm rooting for him. Anyways, going on, they also posted the reunion show, which I watched. And there's some predictable stuff in there, like Cole and Bertice saying yeah, I'm definitely attracted to Raven and Colleen more than you guys, which like just dumb thing to say. I get you're being honest. Like I understand you're being honest and you were dating these people like yesterday, but also like not a cool thing to say. Like it's just like I don't know if that's the smartest thing to say. Like it got ratings for sure. It got me interested because I guess technically the smart thing would say would just be like lie to him and just go through the whole thing the whole time, and then at the end to be like I don't, and then just be like I wasn't feeling it. That would be the smart thing to say and do, but like that wouldn't get ratings, and so I get why you said that. But yeah, that was kind of the predictable stuff they went over, but also they went over some stuff where also Raven and SK are together. Like, let's go, kids. That one I was a big fan of that one, so rooting for them too. But yeah, like it was mostly Cole and Zaneb drama. The whole thing. Because obviously he was just like he called her bipolar, and then he called her insane and crazy during the thing, and it's just like clearly Cole was not ready for this whole thing. I don't. Bertice wasn't either. Which you're 25 years old. Like I said this last review. Like don't when you're 25, you don't need to be looking for somebody to marry in a week or in a month. Now if when you start getting up into the 30s, maybe you get a little desperate. And again, I went on my rant about just quitting and giving up and just buying cats or like getting really into woodworking. I think you're more better off doing that than going on this show. Listen to the last episode. I believe it was episode 7 or 8, whatever. So yeah, it doesn't work out. Everybody just kind of rips on Cole and Bertice and like the dudes for making mistakes the whole time. And I feel like that's and maybe that's just because I am a dude. Like maybe I just don't see the whole picture. But I feel like a lot of like these dating shows and like dating advice and like the whole relationship construct is like based off of like the guy is wrong, the girl is right, and like you did this, so you deserve this. And it's just like I'm not sure that's 100% right because you have the whole like happy wife, happy life, or like like Mr. Right. He was Mr. Right and she was Mrs. Always Right, you know. It's such a silly like thing to me as a guy who's never been in a relationship that you can't be like, yeah, but she's like literally like fucking wrong. Like she's literally bullshitting. Like you can't say that. And they go in this huge argument about Cole, uh, Cole being such a douchebag that like anytime she was eating, he'd be like, "Are you sure you're gonna eat that?" And like controlling what she said that she was eating a banana and a scoop of peanut butter a day to like meet Cole's beauty standards of like how because he thinks that she's fat or whatever. And they don't show any of that in the show. And so Cole's like bull fucking shit. And then he gets, ostracized by the whole cast for like, oh, you deceitful piece of shit. They don't say like that, but they like go after him. And then at the very end, after everybody's like, thanks for watching the show, we'll see you next season, blah, blah, blah. They show exactly what she was saying, exactly what he was saying. And the whole thing was they're standing there like they're both eating. They were snacking on cherries and like those little baby oranges. So they're both standing there. He's eating cherries. She's eating cherries. They're talking about like the wedding stuff and like what they're gonna do after the wedding. She like busts open an orange. He's like, oh, you're eating another. Oh, it was her second orange. He's like, you're eating a second orange, and she's like, yeah, all I've had today was a banana. He's like, why have you only had a banana? He's like, you need to eat more. And then she's like, yeah, it's, just wedding dress stuff. I'd rather not talk about it. And he's like, oh, you just want to look good in the wedding dress. It's like one of those slim up for the wedding dress type things. And she said, yeah. And that was the whole thing. And this guy literally got like ostracized at the end of the show or in the middle of this reunion show because she was like, yeah, he was like, I'm fat all the time and I can't eat. And he was controlling what I eat. And it wasn't true. And I don't know why and like it's ridiculous to think that this kind of stuff and like she's always right and you're always wrong and bad dog. It's crazy to me. And yeah. So that was the Love is Blind reunion. Again, I don't think Colleen and Matt are going to make it long term. They don't even live together. And that's one of those things. And I guess like with their leases lining up, I don't know. I guess it would make sense to be like, hey, I'm going to live out my lease at my apartment. I guess I can understand that. I just don't. I don't know. Matt seems like a loose cannon to me. So, yeah. That was the end of Love is Blind. So, cannot wait for the next season. It's one of those shows where it's just, does it make you smarter? No. Do you learn anything? It's like, not really. I mostly just think like, what would I do in this situation? And it's never what these people would do. And yeah, it's one of those shows where it's just like you're kind of invested and everybody talks about it. So why not have an opinion? And yeah, so that's episode 10. That is episode 10. I'll be back tomorrow I'll put it out tomorrow. With my football picks for the weekend. We'll talk a little sports. And yeah, again, the schedule for the weeks going forward, at least what I'm going to do my best, because this is a lot of work to do while also starting to look for a new job. And I'm moving soon. And, this is, technically this is a waste of time. If this never blows up, this is all just a waste of time. So yeah, got all this still going and a lot of work to go still. But yeah, Monday, I'm going to do kind of like a motivational, positive Monday show because most of my takes are pretty negative. So positive Monday show. Tuesday, a review and what happened over the weekend in sports and current state of things in sports on Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll do a Q&A / dating review, advice type thing, where I'm giving people advice on, problems or, whatever they need advice on. I'll give you my 2 cents. Thursday, we'll do a current event type show and see where we're at geopolitically. And Friday, I will give my preview for the weekend for the sports picks and cover anything in sports that happened that week. So, that's where we stand currently. And I'm Kohler. This is The Kohler Show.